These historical photos will change your perception. 15-year-old Mary survived being assaulted. A bizarre picture of computers on parade, East Germany, 1987. Cashiers at California Piggly Wiggly store, 1950. Elvis, his father, Vernon, and his grandmother, Minnie May, 1959. Paul Hulot, this teenager who toured the world in 44 days, was the inspiration for Tintin, 1928. Jean Libera, known as the man with two bodies, with his parasitic twin brother, Jacques Libera, attached to his chest and abdomen. The crowning chair in Westminster Abbey. Every English king or queen has been crowned in this chair since 1308. Steamer, 1925. Three children wearing typical clothing from the year 1900. A Navajo man dressed as Nayiz Naizgani in the United States, 1908. Four generations in one photo, 1880s. The Last Queen of Mongolia, 1923. A Sami couple photographed in 1870. A young woman posing with her car around 1922. A woman and her many boudoir dolls in France, 1924. Couples having a picnic in Wilkes Barre in the late 1800s or early 1900s. A snowstorm covers Broad Street in white on a cold winter day, 1940. A frozen fire truck after a colossal fire in sub-zero temperatures, 1920. Back then, no one smiled for photographs. That changed when a pig ran in front of the camera. A rare look at Niagara Falls without water, 1969. Behind the scenes of RoboCop, 1986. A tiny gas station in No County, Kentucky in 1977. Best friends take a joyride in their new vehicle, Ohio, 1924. A toaster from the 1920s. Biking through the streets of Hong Kong, 1950s. A traditionally dressed Ruthenian woman, who would now be known as Ukrainian, when she arrived at Ellis Island. Changing attire, 1910. an 18-year-old Alan Rickman in secondary school, London, United Kingdom, 1964. Comic book section, 1960. Artist painting a picture of the ruins of San Francisco's City Hall after the earthquake and fire, 1906. Completing the Panama Canal, 1913. Fire truck on the way, F Street, Washington, D.C., 1914. Cornell University students in home economics class, Ithaca, New York, 1951. Ford Model T street light maintenance truck, 1926. Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger from Twins, 1988. Freddie Mercury and Michael Jackson at a party in 1981. Disneyland during construction. George Lucas before CGI, 1984. Dominic Miller, handicapped during an air raid in France on the 25th of April, 1917. German immigrants arriving at Ellis Island, New York, 1900. Driving through the Wawona giant sequoia tree, 1905. Grand Prix in Monte Carlo, Monaco, 1959. Early video gamers playing on Magnavox Odyssey, 1972. Huge stacks of lumber drying in Seattle. Los Angeles policemen disguised themselves as women to catch a purse snatcher in the 1960s. Icing soft drink refrigerator in general store of the Lake Dick Cooperation Association, Altheimer, Arkansas, 1938. Listening to a record during music class, 1957. John McCain greeting Nixon after being released by the North Vietnamese, 1973. Mahatma Gandhi's possessions at the time of death, 1948. Kathmandu, Nepal during the hippie era. Marilyn Monroe in Korea, 1954. Princess Diana meeting Mr. Bean back in 1984. Mary, 21, secretary in the office of designer Raymond Loewy, New York, 1956. Princess Diana on a water slide with her son Harry at a UK amusement park in 1992. masquerade participant at the 24th World Science Fiction Convention in Cleveland, Ohio, 1966. Princess Elizabeth's wedding cake. Final preparations in 1947. One of the smallest shops in London, a shoe salesman with a 1.2 square meter shoe store, 1900. Protection of monuments during the war. Sandbags protecting the portals of Notre Dame de Paris in 1918. One person's weekly rationing allowance in England in 1951. Racing cars on the roof of the Fiat factory in Turin, Italy, 1923. Pablo Picasso chilling at his home studio in France, 1956. Soldiers using gas masks to stop themselves from crying while peeling onions, 1941. Steeplejacks on Woolworth Building, New York City, 1932. Sophia Loren posing for the photographers in Venice, 1958. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak with the Apple I computer, Apple's first product, April 1976. The creation of the recycling logo by G. Anderson, 23 at the time. The cast of Friends, 1994. The Days Before Computers, Washington, D.C., 1919. The Column of Constantine and Ghazi Atik Ali Pasha Mosque, Istanbul, 1890. The first ever Audi store in Essen, Germany, 1930. British soldiers after their release from Japanese captivity in Singapore, 1945. The first Ford Mustang rolled off the assembly line, 1964. A woman with an elongated skull in Central Africa, 1955. The history of pasta production in Italy. Drying the pasta, 1929. Two Armenian women posing with their rifles before heading into battle. The ice girls are delivering ice on a route, and their work requires brawn as well as the patriotic ambition to help. Three former Confederate soldiers posing for a photo in Tennessee, USA, in 1920. This is how they tested shoes back in 1937. Ruth Disney, alongside her older brother Walt Disney in 1906. This was Las Vegas in 1947. A soldier returning to his daughter after World War II, 1945. Titanic propellers, January 1st, 1911. People gathered in front of stores in Hot Springs, Arkansas, 1880. Traffic lights being made in 1947. Photograph of a homeless farming family in 1936. Two women hailing a Vespa taxi scooter, a new type of taxi built for two passengers, in Milan, 1952. A migrant worker traveling during the Great Depression, 1930s. A family in their cabin home in West Virginia, 1900. U.S. scientists study the phases of the moon on lunar models in preparation for an eventual manned flight to the moon, 1962. Group portrait taken at a wedding in Norway, 1900. Volvo invented the three-point seatbelt and gave the patent away to save lives. Three Sisters, 1926. A portrait captured by James van der Zee, a renowned photographer of the Harlem Renaissance. Watching television at Waterloo Station, London, 1936. A Bedouin girl with facial tattoos in Al-Karak, Jordan, 1907. White House reconstruction discovery of an ice house originally constructed under Thomas Jefferson, 1902. Native American camp on the Great Plains, 1890. Window washers in New York City, 1958. A man on the porch of his cabin in Eagle Creek, Murray, Idaho, 1889. Women window cleaners working in London, 1917. (1967 to 2018). The same bike, the same couple. Workers at Lockheed Jet Bomber Plant in Marietta, Georgia, 1953. "3,000 workers posing for a photo during the construction of the Manhattan Bank, 1964, with a portable lemonade dispenser. Berlin, 1931. The first photograph taken underwater, 1899. This yew hedge, known for its antiquity, was planted in 1720 in England, 1962. A child's reaction to meeting Andre the Giant, 1970. The largest log cabin in the world, Portland, Oregon, 1938. Before 1949, the Hollywood sign displayed Holly Woodland. One-room schoolhouse, typical of rural areas. A jail cell used during the Salem witch trials. Workers on the Eiffel Tower in 1935 performing maintenance on the iconic Paris structure. Whitechapel Street, London, 1930. Newly manufactured F-4U Corsair and F-6F Hellcat fighter planes being prepared for shipment to the Pacific USA, 1944. Avenue in New York, 1905. A family living in the slums of London in the 1900s. Two girls galloping at high speed on sheep in the field, 1969. Two Douglas SBD-5 Dauntless aircraft from the U.S. Navy Air Squadron 6 fly over the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise CV-6 on November 12, 1943. Children from St. Margaret's Day Nursery in Battersea being transported in a basket on a pram during the bus strike, 1937. Russian soldiers dressed in costumes during an improvised performance in World War I. A gas station in the United States, 1920s, before the Great Depression. U.S. sailors at Great Lakes Station, 1940, inspecting behind stretched hammock nets. Photo by Bernard Hoffman. An aerodrome after World War II, 1946. The RMS Mauritania in dry dock in Liverpool, 1909, for maintenance before its transatlantic voyages. Children and a dog in London, approximately 1955. Photographer Margaret Bourke-White captures an image from the top of a building in 1935. A merchant waiting for customers in his store, 1950. Construction of the Empire State Building, New York, 1930s. A typical English summer on Pier Road, Whitby, 1920. Tadzio Nuvolari in 1931, renowned race car driver known for his victories in prestigious races. Wait for Me, Daddy, a 1940 photo showing a child running after a soldier, capturing an emotional moment from the era. Construction of the pedestal for the Statue of Liberty in New York, United States, 1885. The canals of Venice drained and cleaned, 1956. The maintenance allowed the removal of accumulated sediment and the preservation of historical infrastructure. Residents of Tehran relaxing in the mountains near the Iranian capital, 1990s. A photograph of a couple in 1850. Charlie Chaplin meeting Helen Keller, 1919. A girl learning photography and filmmaking in Bali, 1934. Freddie Mercury at 12 years old at St. Peter's Boys' School, Panchgani, India, 1958. The Dyna Army Wheel, a vehicle patented by John Purves in the United Kingdom in 1930. Young Vladimir Putin, 1970. Ancient Mayan zoomorphic sculpture photographed in the late 1800s. Mobile Public Library in the Bronx, 1950. Alfred Hitchcock on set in 1964. Ford Model T, 1920s. Ben Owen, 17 years old, with his scooter equipped with 34 mirrors and 81 lights, purchased with his own money. Leicester, England, 1963. Friends having fun in a photo from 1900. Athens, Greece, 1869. A vehicle with a bubble glass top, 1947. A photo of a moose in Yukon, captured in Dawson, Yukon Territories on August 11, 1907, by photographer Wolf. An architect working on a construction model, 1964. A street vendor selling medicine in Oklahoma, 1895. Gas and electricity workers in Boston, Massachusetts, around 1920. Sean Connery and Ursula Andress during the filming of Dr. No, 1962. An immigrant family watching Manhattan from the dock of Ellis Island, August 13, 1925. Extras relaxing on the set of Cleopatra, 1963. Customers buying bread and snacks at a drive-through market in Los Angeles, 1949. Karen Witter crowned Miss World in 1959, posing for a portrait by photographer Paul Huff. Joan Collins in Jamaica during the filming of Sea Wife, 1957, alongside Richard Burton. Surfers forming a star on their boards in Santa Monica, 1935. Bunnies in London, 1965. "100 rare and incredible historical photos that you need to see." Robots called psychotrons by their Austrian inventor Klaus Scholz. One of them hands a cup of tea to Frau Schultz, circa 1950 in Vienna. Police officers watch with alarm as a pair of aliens casually stroll down Regent Street, London, 1964. A device with 2 mirrors and a built-in brush. Helped wash the back, 1947. Halibut catch, Amsterdam, 1913. Christian Dior fashion show at the foot of the Acropolis in Athens, 1951. Poverty. La Courneuve, a suburb of Paris, 1952. The Wright brothers' first flight, 1903. Kifisia, Greece, 1920. Winona Ryder, Jodie Foster, and Julia Roberts, 1989. Help is on the way, Broviken Bay, Sweden, 1955. Stevie Wonder at the London School for the Blind, 1970. Transporting car tires at the Renault plant, France, 1950. Demi Moore, 1993. Paris, around 1950. Coal and gas-powered taxi, England. Enough fuel was stored on the roof of the car for a range of 24 kilometers, 1920. Selling shoes in front of the Church of Santa Barbara dei Librai, Rome, late 1940s. The fall of the Berlin Wall, 1989. Man and woman with ducks on the street of Paris, circa 1950. A farmer's wife and daughter on their way to church, West Germany, late 19th century. A Victorian couple can't help but laugh as they pose for a photograph, 1890s. Girl and Her Kitten, 1931. Members of the black girls' softball team, the Owls, 1930s. Sharpshooter Annie Oakley shoots over her shoulder using a hand mirror, 1899. Teenagers in front of the Acropolis, Athens, 1983. A buffalo-drawn wagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 1900. Dinner party at the Astor Hotel in New York, 1904. The FBI arrests a protester against the draft in Vietnam. Philadelphia, 1969. Students in a college dorm room in 1910, University of Illinois. Students and their teacher, Beaugency, France, 1890. A bouncer at the Shanghai Reds, California, escorts a customer to the door, 1953. Hopi Indian woman, 1890. Autobahn, West Germany, 1972. European moving in a hammock, Alada, Benin, 1895. The most secure safe in a bank, 1920. Sailing boat on the Seine, France, 1890. Inupiat man teaching a young boy to shoot, Alaska, 1920. Harvey Ball is the man who invented the smiley face. Colorized photo of a young Fidel Castro, 1946. Women of the Egyptian harem choose outfits and dresses in a store, late 19th century. A man listens to a player and plays Pac-Man, 1980s. Bathing elephants, India, 1862. Brother and sister from Charlottesville, Virginia, 1916. Sorrento, Amalfi Coast, Italy, 1888. George Harrison with his cat. London, 1877. Watler Davidson poses on his Harley-Davidson motorcycle in 1907. Balloon flight in Florence, Italy, 1884. Elizabeth Taylor with her brother Howard in 1937. Mother and daughter on a swing, late 19th, early 20th century. Miriam Colon, 155 centimeters tall, stands next to James Arness, 2 meters tall. Wailing Wall, Jerusalem, 1877. Despite the fact that Richard Keel often played scary characters, he was known as a very kind and friendly person. Shampoo advertisement, 1920s. public toilet in Paris, France, 1875. Inventor of the home trampoline. George Nissen impressively demonstrates his brainchild to others, trying to jump higher than a kangaroo, 1960. Wrestler Ric Flair and a very young Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, 1980s. Cheap fish vendors, St. Giles's area, London, 1887. Spectators react to the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger, which was destroyed by an external fuel tank explosion 73 seconds into the flight, killing all 7 crew members. Anna Swan, who stood 240 meters tall, was one of the tallest women in the world in the 1870s. Skier. Dick Brown jumps over his car, Lassen County, California, 1940. Mobsters hide their faces at Al Capone's trial, 1931. Four physicists taking a walk. From left to right, Albert Einstein, Hideki Yukawa, John Wheeler, and Homi Jahangir Bhabha, 1954. Albert Einstein visited Lincoln University, Pennsylvania, the first degree-granting HBCU in the U.S., to give a lecture in 1946. A young newsboy stands in front of a downtown Seattle theater that closed after Mayor Ole Hanson's proclamation concerning public gatherings during the Spanish flu pandemic, 1918. 4-year-old Mary, who shucks 2 pots of oysters a day at Dunbar. The mother is the fastest shucker in the place, earns $1.50 a day. Dunbar, Louisiana, 1911. October 1960. Senator John F. Kennedy and his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, campaign in New York. Man takes a selfie using a stick of wood to activate the camera, 1957. An American soldier kisses his girlfriend on the grass. Photographed in Hyde Park, London, 1945. The wrecked remains of actor James Dean's Porsche 550 Spider, Cholame, California, USA, September 30th, 1955. Titanic's stern photographed by a Thomas Barker, a newspaper photographer who boarded the ship during her brief stop at Queenstown, Ireland, on April 11, 1912. Dog completing a parachute jump during training, 1944. The Prince of Naples, later King Victor Emmanuel III of Italy, holding a picture of his grandfather, Victor Emmanuel II, 1873. Barricade on Rues Bosphrois and Charonne, Paris, on the start of the Paris Commune of 1871. The great Gama Ghulam Muhammad Bakhsh Butt, commonly known as Rustami Hind, and by the ring name, the Great Gama. In the early 20th century, he was an undefeated wrestling champion of the world, 1910. Robin Williams, at 27 years old and a few weeks after the airing of Mork and Mindy, is on his way to Studio 54 to attend a party celebrating his newfound fame. Soviet peasants listen to the radio for the first time, 1928. Princess Elizabeth, 13, receives an award for her swimming skills as part of a team, London, 1939. Plague. Dr. Mask, Germany, 16th century. filming the train crash scene from Back to the Future, Part 3, 1980s. The steamship Mercure, aground in the Trondheim Fjord, Norway, 1919. Dogcart, Netherlands, 1904. Inuit woman with baby, King Island, Alaska, taken between 1915 and 1925. A woman helps pull out fishing boats in Peniche, Portugal, 1950s. Portraits of women, smoking pipes, 1900s. Woman repairing a car, Budapest, Tyson Keilencaesar, Het Venegi. Navajo man wearing ceremonial mask, photo by Edward S. Curtis, 1904. Girls dressed for prom at an American high school in 1920. An ad from the 1930s about the dangers of being thin, nobody likes a skinny girl, and how to gain weight with beer. American soldier wearing the crown of the Holy Roman Empire in a cave in Siegen, Germany, on April 3, 1945. U.S. Army nurses sunbathing next to a twin 40mm on a Coast Guard troopship returning from Europe, 1945. Pin on future fashion, 1945. In Dad's Uniform, 1916. Children in front of world's largest log cabin in Portland, Oregon, USA, 1938. Built in 1905, burned down in 1964. A Christmas party in an underground shelter in London, December 25, 1940. The oldest diving suit in the world, 18th century. Norma Jean, in 1945, before she became famous as Marilyn Monroe. Dancer at a fair in London, 1934. Ice delivery man, Houston, Texas, 1928. Advertisement for the Holborn 6100 personal computer, Netherlands, 1981. Cozy living room, 1930. Morgantown, West Virginia, October 1908. Mountain guides carry a rich lady who wanted to climb Vesuvius in 1910. Fish for sale, Portugal, 1950s. Supermodel turned actress Mila Jovovich, 1996. Traffic around the Nørreport stop. Copenhagen, Denmark, 1905. Jesuit priests hear confessions near Midland, Ontario, Canada, circa 1955. Lake Weissensee, Austria, 1930. Swedish model Lisa von Sagreves at the Eiffel Tower, Paris, 1939. Wash Day in Volendam, Netherlands, 1930s. Italian-style pasta drying on racks in the Italian sun, 1955. Scano, Italy, 1951. A fur coat made of monkey fur by French designer Guy Laroche, Paris, 1970. Bessie Coleman was the first black pilot to be rejected from a flight school in the United States. She went to France, where she learned French and received her international pilot rating in 1922. Decanting wine in the warehouses of Bercy, Paris, 1904. Freddie Mercury on the bullet train heading to Nagoya during the Hot Space Japan tour, Nishinomiya, Japan, October 25, 1982. A large family living in Paris. Photo from the series, Paris and Parisians in the photographs of Jean-Philippe Charbonnier, 1952. A German soldier poses for a photograph with his father, dressed in an old Bavarian uniform, 1913. Eiffel Tower, Paris, France, 1932. Bar patrons, Sweden, Stockholm, 1895. Painters sit at a market waiting for work, Bucharest, Romania, 1928. Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here album, cover shoot, Warner Brothers, 1975. Bar in Paris, 1938. A young helper with 2 buckets helps 2 fishermen in traditional baggy trousers and klompen. Portrait of fishermen with their catch in the Lofoten Islands, 1910. Venice, 1960. Paris, 1920s. Public disinfectors, England, 1877. Beached whales, early 20th century. Cabin in the Las Vegas Valley, USA, 1895. Whitby, England, 1880. Elizabeth Taylor gives her four-legged friend a bath. Manhattan Back Alley, New York City, 1888. Dangerous Sports Club cross-country skiing, St. Moritz, Switzerland, 1983. London Posterman, 1877. A child in Outshorn, Cape Province, South Africa, sits on a pile of ostrich eggs, 1939. Inner courtyard of the Abbey of San Gregorio, circa 1860 to 1880. Girls on the Street in Italy, 1951. Postbox, Germany, 1894. A circus performer trains a zebra to stand on its hind legs, 1920. Two gentlemen and their delightful dog with a double cane in his mouth, 1890s. Frida Kahlo and Leon Trotsky. Historians claim they had a brief affair, 1937. Man riding a camel, circa 1856. Crater left after the underground nuclear explosion. Sedan, 1960s, Nevada. The largest artificial crater in the USA. Alley, Trinity College in Winter, England, 1866. Halloween costumes of the 1920s. Large alligator, Louisiana, 1870s. The second-class deck of the Titanic, April 11th, 1912. Old Man and Child, Great Britain, early 20th century. A 17-year-old boy with his Italian Vespa scooter, England, 1983. Wedding photography, Wexford, Ireland, 1965.